Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM23 Lions, episode 119. It's the Tour de France, and it's the first time that on a Grand Tour we are going to go for GC. We did manage to get a top 10 while not going for it, but what happens when we actually do? Maybe tougher. May not go according to plan. We'll see what we can do, though, and I'm certainly hopeful for minimum top 10. I'm hopeful for a top 5. I doubt we're good enough to crack a podium. We are still just a Continental Pro team and a mid-level Continental Pro team at that on paper. But with our best players in play and prepared for the race, we'll see what they can do. Preparation-wise, things are looking pretty good for the entirety of the team. I have not checked where they're at. Approaching fitness peak, though. But as for the first week, 3 punchy stages and a time trial, and just 25k, and it's the only time trial. I'm looking at those first couple punchy ones, and the third, I don't expect there to be separation. But as for that 25-minute, there's some undulation along the way, but it's mostly flat for that 25k time trial. I do expect that we are going to have some time losses there, but not severe. This is Arab who's leading us, and he's decent at the discipline. Day 1 motivation is pretty low for a few guys. Arab is going to hit his fitness peak way too early in this race, as will Matoni. Henok will be there soon after, but Arab's going to be the first to hit his fitness peak. That's not the preparation that we want or hope for. He's at 97% on the fitness. That's nice. And he's got definitely good support around him, and some guys coming in late, but Benuna looks like he's going to miss entirely. Mohira is going to miss probably entirely. Samuels is not going to get it until the final few days. Isaacs and Ashimwe should have some mid-race support for us, while Henok and Matoni will have early race support, but at this rate it looks like Arab is going to crash well before the end of this race. And of course the first week, there's nothing happening in the first week besides a time trial. He's probably going to have that fitness peak already by the time trial at least. That's going to help him out on that day. But it makes me nervous of what's going to happen in the final 4 stages. Stage 1, final 35k. It was only a 2-man break today, and one of them is just about to get reeled in. The other one's only a minute and a half ahead, so they stand no chance, but they'll have that early KOM advantage. Field looking pretty compact so far. Plenty of energy, which means somebody like Gurmai, Van Aert could be heavy favorites on a day like today. This is one of those ones where sometimes we could surprise. Speaking of surprise, stage 1 surprise is that Godu has crashed out of the race on the first stage. So Godu will not be a threat, even though he was brought to the race. With 20k to go here, we're going to be setting ourselves up here shortly for our train and getting things moving. I'm going to kind of wait, see if we can get over this one. Right at the top is where we want to put our foot down and start, as long as there's no attack coming in the meantime. And so far, there is not. Another thing I want to point out here, as we're setting ourselves up, now we can get our train going. Sheffield trying to attack. Perfect example with recent races, real life, World Tour. Roglic struggling on a weaker team. Bora Hansgrohe with less support. Struggling. Don't say I didn't call it before. Not to say that he won't have good races, but he does not look the same rider this year. Well, here is a bit to the back right now, so we've got to have him push out pretty hard, pretty early. Sheffield's the only one who got that separation, and with descending a fair bit of these last 16k, we want to just keep that pressure on, so Mohira is going to push on. This is the 2021 edition of the Tour de France, or at least this first stage is anyway. I doubt I'm going to lose any riders in terms of contact. In fact, it's kind of looking like nobody is. It's just whether you could take the stage or not. 10k to go. And we have got ourselves out front. Shimway, normally a good descender, but he's the only guy in red today. Race day condition is pretty close to what it should be for the team, but I'd say we actually might even have a slight positive here. But 7K, let's gel up for everyone, as these next 4K are going to go by really fast. So to have the gel for the final 3, you've got to have a little bit of an early move. Inside 5K, onto Hanok. We now have Arab 5th wheel as we begin the final climb at 3K to go. Hanok is not a puncher, so he's not going terribly fast, but he's got us to 2K. Onto Benuna, who's got an 80 hills rating. Motoni only has a 75, so let's have Motoni go 99 first. Hanok just keep on pushing. That's a sprint now for Motoni. Benuda leading out Samuels and Arab, and definitely going faster, 1.1K. Let's follow it a little bit longer here now. Samuels, 900 meters. All he's able to do is get out of the wheel. Arab, last guy, final push. Next to us is Ethan Hayter, who still had a little more left than Arab, or does he? Well, Benuna will hang on, and this is big. Arab's going to get a top 3. Hayter did get second, so Morocco takes the win. Of all the riders here for us, all of them are from nations that already have 7 popularity, and Tour de France only gets you to a 7. Morocco was the one nation that didn't. It was out of 5. There's a very good chance that Benuna has just given Morocco 2 points of popularity on the first stage with an early victory, and pressure's off for Arab. He gains 4 seconds. He's in a strong position, but Benuna carries the early jersey. Our team is not built to protect the jersey. We'll definitely give it up by stage 5 with the time trial, but we're going to have to carry through for stage 2. That part sucks, but let's hope somebody else is willing to step up. Samuels was 4, Pogacar, Ocha Brooks are both here. Mohiro is 7th. Big points for the stage. Palace, Sheffield. Didn't happen for now. Morocco remains at 5 on the popularity charts. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. We are 3rd on the team charts right now. If we can get top 5, I could see us hanging on to that in this race a bit longer. Motivation fixed by stage 2, as some of the guys weren't feeling great, but now all of a sudden they're going, haha, we're at the Tour de France. How exciting. And maybe we've got the early lead and we get a stage victory and blah, blah, blah. You'd see Arabs, a day, 2 days? Way too early. Way too early. This could turn into a rough race. And Samuels is coming late. I mean, like a Shimway Isaacs. That's kind of the strong time. 23K to go on stage number 2. We did not have to conduct the chase. There's only 3 riders away, and they are less than half a minute ahead of us. We've got some undulation to get through in the next few kilometers. And then we push into one final climb, similar to the one on the last stage. Maybe not as steep, maybe not as long, but if we can do something similar, if we can burn through everybody's red bar with a good strong lead out, a contingency of climbers here, and this needs to be like full 99, hold your position kind of stuff. To stop that field spread, we'll get ourselves back in place here shortly. Holding. We'll set up our train just over the top here with 11.9 to go. Okay, so we are set. We are ready to go. We've got a few lead out guys. I'm going to have Benuna, who sits first overall right now, go early and then scoot to the back. So he can get a free ride to not lose time today. Then Arab is already at the back. He's on a 0 race day condition. He doesn't have the bonuses. He's not very great. He's okay as a puncher, but not great. So Arab is not the guy we're riding for. It's Samuels. So we're going to get Benuna and Arab out of the way pretty quickly, pretty easily. Mohira leads us out, and we're already within 6K. On to Isaacs. And that means we need to start using those gels. Gel, 5K. 4K, Benuna to go. Isaac's looking a little stronger than Mohira. We'll have him come in line next. Benuna. That's it from him. We'll have him follow Arab. 2K to go. Henok, Ashimwe, Matoni, Samuels. So it's 4 guys. And we are already down to 1.5K, but Henok is nearly done. On to Ashimwe. Inside 1K. Ashimwe. Sprinting. 800 meters. Matoni. Sprinting. Okay, we've done pretty well with it, but these guys have more energy than last stage for sure. So getting on the podium is going to be tough, but Samuels definitely breaks through. Sprint all. But his breakthrough, his red bar. Is it enough? Is it enough? Back-to-back stage wins, and we beat Tadej Pogačar to the line. His team gets a 2-3-6 finish. They were definitely all over the front, but hell yeah, 2 for 2 to start the race. Samuels got the win. Ashimwe was 9th, Arab was 10th, Matoni was 11th. Yeah, heck of a start to this race, huh? Benuna was 22nd, so unless there was gaps, some riders losing time today for sure. Isaacs and Mohira amongst them. And we do have time gaps, including a 15-second time gap from 19th on back. So Benuna will not wear the jersey today. In theory, it's going to belong to Samuels. 104 to Bermuda, so 76th. Only losing 15 seconds, but that does start to open the things a little bit. Arab doesn't lose any time. He already gained 4 seconds. Samuel, who hasn't lost any time, has gained 10 seconds. Pogačar, he's already picked up 6. And he, of course, has to be a favorite with straight 82s across the board, or straight 86s across the board with the modifier. So Samuels, as expected, leads the race overall from Pogačar and Hayter. Hayter did not lose time today. Arab and Plapp, the other ones that hadn't lost time. The one rider who has podiumed in either of the first 2 stages who lost time is Benuna. He's alone in that. So a group that is 10 seconds down, and that being time bonus, is down to 18th place. So meaning there was 19 guys here. Only one of them had lost time previously. Or no. It was 19th on down. So there was all 18 of them had not lost time on the first. Actually, that's really not a surprise. There really wasn't very many guys who lost time. But Benuna is alone in 19th at 15 seconds down. He lost 15 seconds on the stage, but with the 10-second time bonus offsetting his 10-second time bonus for everybody else, that 10-second time bonus means 25 seconds down, and then 64th. So there were some riders who lost time on that last stage. 63 left inside a minute. Early points, Pogačar has the lead there, so we won't wear that jersey, nor the KOM, though Benuna has 2 points. Samuels has 2 points, both for winning the stage, the finishing climbs. But for the young riders, Samuels does lead that classification. Benuna did lead it yesterday, so we're picking up bonus points, not only for winning stages, but for wearing yellow jerseys, for wearing white jerseys, getting double bonuses over these first couple of stages, and we're in for a couple time trial, or a couple sprint stages before we have the time trial. I will quick sim those, and I assume that we will still have total energies. They're up there with us. Those time bonuses put us where we're at, but great start. Literally could not be a better start unless we were 30 minutes ahead because we broke away and like away. But winning 2 for 2, damn, great start. Arab has already started his fitness peak. At least he has it for the time trial, but I just worry about those later stages. Samuels, of course, is not a good time trialist, but Arab's going to be in a strong position. It would be fantastic if he was second or third overall after the time trial, though, because it keeps pressure off of us, keeps Pogacar ahead of us. He's favorite anyway. It keeps pressure on his team and off of us, and then you could start to see, a Luke Plapp and a Gil Isaac drop away because they're doing work for a leader. Caleb Ewan was the one who claimed the stage. Philipsen gets stage 2 ahead of Delay, and we still have the lead as they had both lost time in those first couple of stages. So far, early in this time trial, just over 25k in length overall. It's almost 100% time trial rating. Prologue will almost not be used. We're looking at 29 minutes for the leaders. We're looking at a good 10-minute spread across the board. And from the looks of things, I was thinking a 77 might be the way to go, but Mohira is doing just fine on that. So I think we can push a bit harder. We'll try a 79 from the off here with Isaacs, of course, after you settle in, or maybe after that first little hill climb there. Might be a good time to get out for 85 for a bit, push on, get over that hill, and then settle into about a 79. Mohira, that seems to be a good tempo now as he's kind of on par with it, but even with a 79, Isaacs seems to still have a little bit left in the tank, maybe because he's a better time trialist. So I think we're going to try an 80 now with Matoni as we try to find that balance. But Mohira is well behind, 4.5 minutes down. Mohira coming up on the finish, running out of energy. For that part, we managed it well, but Matoni pushes out the box and then relaxes. Goes that little bit deeper. Oh wow, what a bonus. Be nice if that prologue was being used because that's an 85, but he does have an 81. I'll try an 81 here, and Isaac's final kilometer, and he's already 3:42. Definitely a better time from him, but neither one of them were good time trialists. And Matoni, you can see his 81. He's still got a little bit of a deficit after that initial push, but he seems to be level. He's just 24 seconds down in 9th place at the first time check. Phase, Foss leading the whole way. Van Aert coming in late. He was 6th at the first time check. Matoni was 9th. Matoni is good to go now, actually. So 81 is still not hard enough. He's still 9th, but only losing 11 seconds through here. I think we could push that 86, 87 for him towards the finish line, 4K. 1 kilometer. Final kilometer, rounding the corner. 9th place. He stayed 9th consistently throughout. 43 seconds down, the exact same throughout. He lost a little bit too much time in that first, but he did find that he still had a little more in the tank. Had a little more in the tank, and that means even in 81, not quite hard enough. It looks like if you have good race day condition anyway, you could probably run in 82. Attacking the first climb, just an 86er there. We don't need to go deeper than that. But once you get over it, we'll settle to an 82 and see how that goes long term. We've got Benuna and the Shenway coming back to back. We're all the way up to 31st already. Field's starting to thin out right now. Foss, Bloom-Levy, Van Aert is 6th of the stage, so that's going to give him a big time bonus, but he went fairly early. So how far down he is, hard to say. But Hinoke is 25 seconds down overall, and that 82 at least with a 66 time trial, is going deeper than he can handle. So we're going to back off for him. And Benuna will set off here in a moment. He's got an 81 today, so he is somebody we're going to push out the box. But a Shimway also looking pretty good. 74 for him. Not as good, but still good. At 82 is risky, but we'll try it again with somebody who has good race day condition. A Shimway. We know the 81 was quite manageable. Little weaker for a Shimway, so we'll try the 81 for him. See how that works. Hanoke. Final 500 meters, so we've actually managed to make it work. We balanced it. Exactly 100th. Benuna only slightly out of deficit, even after that early push. Means I think the 82 is working just fine for him, which means the Shimway probably can manage the 82. Does that mean we can get an 83 out of Benuna? 18th, 32 seconds down for Benuna. Just 15 seconds down overall. This could move him back into the top 10 in the short term. Back down to an 82. Still slightly out of deficit. Shimway, the 82 seems to be holding very steady. Arab will set off pretty soon. Moment of truth. He's expected +5 today. We could really use that +5 for our GC hopes. Like I said, I don't want us in the lead at the end of the day, but if we're second, it'd be fantastic. He's got the +5. Up over the climb, down to an 86. 83. Benuna gets 17th. He had a little bit left in the tank, but I didn't have time to deal with him. As Arab's our leader, he's the focal point. Shimway a little bit further down as Samuels sets off. I gotta pause to get him set right. He's got a +1 at least for Samuels. He's of course last guy out of the box because he leads overall. Arab can't go 83 the whole time, so down to an 82. Samuels through that climb can now go down to an 81. Because he doesn't have the rating. Arab's got an 81 on his time trial rating. First check phase. Foss, Almeida, and Evenepoel coming in really strong. Evenepoel moving up to second and into the lead. Evenepoel has an 84 base time trial, which means he's got an 88. So Arab's 81 is still nowhere near the level of Evenepoel, and he's very likely going to be the guy in the lead. But you can see an 82 has conserved some energy, and he's almost neutral, so starting to speed up for the final push. Samuel's 81, though, is not doing the same, so Arab just making good time. He is 19th, 18th at the 2 checks. Final kilometer, attacking. 21st, minute 8. A minute 8, that's a good time. I was kind of hoping for a little bit better, like Matoni levels, 48 seconds. But there's some healthy gaps. They said Evenepoel 86 is his base, not even including race day condition. Yes, including difficulty bonus, but that's a huge gap to what we had. Not a bad performance. I was hoping to be about 30 seconds closer. Sam, 1K still, 1K. I didn't realize he hadn't gone through the banner. He's going to lose a little bit of time in that final 400 meters. 5 minutes down, though. There's your Samuel's effect. He lost 5 minutes. Ran out of energy a few hundred meters early. That was it. Evenepoel wins the stage. He's got to be in the lead overall, right? FaZe Foss went much earlier. Almeida will be up there. And yes, there you go. Evenepoel, Almeida, Pogacar. Arab is 8th, only a minute down. Not bad. Not bad. We're already starting to see some favorites show up in that top 10. In fact, most, if not all of them, would be amongst the favorites. That's going to do it for this episode, though. We relinquish the jersey for now. I think there are some young guys around us. No, Arab's got the white jersey, so at least we're going to continue to get that bonus for the time being. Matoni is behind him, just 4 seconds down. Benuna, 13. Shimway, all in the top 10 of that under 25s. Looking good on that part. Samuel's well out of it already. Later on in the race, we could maybe attack with him and get him up the road to help out. And see his position improve, maybe get into the top 10. But we remain on top as a team, even with a time trial. Not our strong suit. but we did well enough to remain on top. That's impressive for us. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.